All right, let's just get right into it. If you're leading a church or a nonprofit, you're in the people business, right? You're not supposed to be wrestling with all the techie details of the internet. But what if one of those little details is actually the very thing that's keeping people from finding you when they need you most?
And that's the honest-to-goodness truth, isn't it? You're focused on the mission, the big picture. The absolute last thing on your mind is some tiny technical detail on a website you've never even heard of. It just feels so trivial. But here's the crazy thing. That one seemingly small detail, it's actually the foundation for everything else you do online. I mean, you can have the most beautiful website, the most engaging social media, but if this foundation is cracked, all that other effort just doesn't work as well as it could.
So, what is this magic bullet? What's this foundational step? It's all about managing your online directory listings. Now I know, it doesn't sound very glamorous, but I'm telling you, this is the true unsung hero of local digital outreach.
The real heart of the issue is something marketers call NAP inconsistency. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like getting 1,000 little paper cuts all over your online presence. One doesn't hurt much, but altogether, they can cause some serious damage.
So what in the world is NAP? It's simple: name, address, and phone number. And NAP consistency just means making sure that this core info is exactly, and I mean down to the last comma, exactly the same everywhere it shows up online.
And where does this information live? Well, that's the tricky part. It's not just on your website. It's scattered across dozens, maybe even hundreds of online directories. You've got the big ones, sure, like Yelp, but then there's this huge web of smaller sites you've never even heard of that are constantly scraping data from each other.
This slide just nails the problem perfectly. Look how tiny these differences are. Stut versus street, adding community to the name, a different format for the phone number. To you and me, it's the same thing. We get it. But to a search engine, these are all conflicting pieces of information. Each one is a big red flag.
So this is the key. You have to understand why this matters so much to a search engine like Google. And honestly, it all boils down to just one word: trust.
Let's just walk through Google's brain for a second. Its entire job is to give people accurate, trustworthy answers. So when its little robots crawl the web and find 5 different phone numbers for you or 2 different versions of your address, the algorithm just gets confused. It loses confidence. It thinks, I can't be sure which of these is right, so I'm not going to confidently recommend this place.
And the result for you is simple and kind of brutal. You get pushed down in the search results. That means the church down the street, the one with all its digital ducks in a row, they're the ones who get the click, the call, and the visit from that family searching for a church near me.
Now, you might be thinking, if this is so important, why doesn't everyone do it? Well, because for the longest time, fixing it was an absolute nightmare. But thankfully, we've gone from that nightmare scenario to something that's literally as simple as a button click.
The old way, picture this. It meant you or some poor volunteer had to manually go to over 70 different websites, create a login for each one, and then update your profile piece by piece. It was a tedious 40-hour project that, let's be real, nobody has time for.
But the new way? Oh, it completely changes the game. Using modern tools, you can now manage everything from one single dashboard. It turns that 40-hour headache into a simple 15-minute task.
Just think about that for a second. A time savings of 99%. That's incredible. It's a perfect example of how the right technology can take a task that felt impossible and make it totally manageable for anybody.
So how does it actually work? It's so simple, it's beautiful. You enter all your correct information, your name, address, phone number, your hours, your website, into one central place. This becomes what we call your single source of truth. Then you just hit a button, and whoosh, the system automatically pushes that perfect, correct data out to the entire network, fixing all the mistakes as it goes.
Okay, but let's take a step back, because this isn't really about fixing data entries on a spreadsheet somewhere. This is directly, powerfully connected to your actual mission.
It really all comes down to this one question. Every single time someone can't find you online because the information is wrong, that's a missed connection. It's a missed opportunity to serve, to help, to welcome somebody into your community.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't some abstract technical problem. A wrong address or a disconnected phone number has a real human cost. It's a family that drove to the wrong place, a family you didn't get to meet.
See, when you fix this, when you build that baseline of digital trust, you're making sure that when someone in your town is actively searching for hope, for help, for a community, you actually show up on their map.
You become visible in their moment of need.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. You work so hard to make sure your physical doors are unlocked and welcoming every Sunday. But in this day and age, are your digital doors open too? Making sure your information is correct, that's not just a marketing task. It's an act of modern hospitality.